fuck are we looking at? Looking outside, dog. Like my motherfucking trees, son. Anyway, this is Dorian Sagan. Hell no. Dorian? Anyway, this is Atheist Universe, the thinking person's answer to Christian fundamentalism. Oh, by the way, this is page 30. Yeah, on page 30. Which is still, what, chapter 1? Yeah, I just started the book. I mean, I ain't technically started. Like, I had already read this book before. I'm trying to see when I last read it. Because I always write in the back of the book when I finish the book. So apparently I had already finished it twice. Once on October 15th. And then again, March 19th, 2024. Nigga, it's only... I'm about to read this book again. I ain't reading this book again. What's going on, dog? What's it say? Dudsvelder. I don't know what that says, but what's up? What's up, Nathan? CFH doomed in this bitch. Yeah, man, nah, bro. I just finished this book. Well, I ain't just finished it, but I mean, apparently I finished it this month. Tuesday, 19 March, 2024. I literally just fucking finished this book. And I was about to pick it up and read it again like I hadn't just finished it. Damn, I be going through books. So I done read this one. And then I read like 3 other books that I had already read in the meantime. And I just be reading books, bro. Like, but this one's filed under religious. Because I read a lot of religious books. You know what I'm saying? What's going on? The 49th page. This is such a good book, though, for real, for real. That's why I like had to read it a couple times. It's just really good. It's again, it's called Atheist Universe, the thinking person's answer to Christian fundamentalism. It's by David Mills, and it's it got some praise from Richard Dawkins. 666, fuck yeah, bro. Made it. Caught you live. Haha, how you doing? Doing all right, Morgan? About to fucking read, bro. I was about to pack a bowl real quick. I think I already packed it, though. But I got a blunt, you know what I mean? I'm trying to look for another book, because I ain't trying to read this one again like I just finished it. Like, damn, let me, you know what I'm saying? So let me put this book away, you know what I mean? And get a different one. Where the fuck I get this from? Well, I don't know if that's where it was, but that's where it's going. Hello. Fuck, man. There's so many I got, bro. I don't know which one to choose. I kind of want to do Godless again. I mean, kind of. You know, fuck it, man. We're going to do it. Fuck it, we doing Godless, goddammit. Hold on, I'm gonna show you what the book looked like real quick. Godless by Dan Barker. All right, enough of that, goddammit. Switch back outside. Let me open the window. That's better. Smoke one for me, bro. I got you, Kevin. Time surfing alien. Dothan here. What's going on, Dothan? CFH Doom said I got a limp head. Yeah, I got a limp head. Oh, you talking about the Godless cover art? Hell yeah, dog. I don't read the forward. I'm skipping through the forward. I don't even really want to read chapter 1. Like, I'm kind of... Because it's a story he's telling, and it's like, man, I don't want to read that story again. It's a call. Something. It's called The Call. Hold on, let me get to chapter 2, bro. Chapter 2, I think it's called The Fall. Man, I don't want to read this book either. Fuck. I'm just not motivated, bro. Hail Satan. Hell yeah, dog. Landon the Great. What's going on? Phoenix City up in this bitch? All right, Derek. Darren, I'm in Gilbert. Nah. Derek. Did you mean Derek? Almost. GA. Hit that weed. Oh, right. Oh, I gotta go get a lighter, man. I ain't even get a lighter and shit. I got one, though. I got one in my little mug. I packed this motherfucker earlier. Let's see if there's still some weed left in it. I think it is. What's up? Ah, shit. How you say that? Jadelia? Jadelia Hamilton? Yeah, we can do that, bro. Have a meeting of the minds. Yeah. I mean, I think I don't want to do no videos with no children. You know what I'm saying? But me too, dude. Jadalia. Oh, Jadalia. I said Jadelia. I'm done. Hey, Dave. You ha. Fuck. Now, hold on. Lil P. Lil P, what are you doing in that goddamn window? Well, ain't nobody tell you to be in the window. Get up. Got some mail. Lil P, I seen your ass, dog. Fuck you doing, bro? Ah. Yeah, I love them too, man. Well, shit, hold on. We can do an unboxing. I got a package. Let's see what it is. I mean, I know what it is. I ordered it. Oh, hell yeah, dog. Damn, that motherfucker big. They sending 2 packages and shit. How big this motherfucker is. A Treatise of Human Nature by David Hume. It's not that big a book. Dad, you jamming the new knot? Look, bro, you already know I am, son. You see they touring with Slipknot? Bro, I'm sorry. I'm probably more than likely not going to be able to go to a Slipknot tour concert and get to see them or knock loose. But I'm sorry, I just seen it on Nick Nocturnal's channel. He was talking about knock loose touring with Slipknot. I'm fucking sorry. I want to see that so bad. Look at this book. Holy shit. This book big as fuck. Like, here's the other book I was just about to read. Look how little it is compared to, like, I can fit two of these motherfuckers in here. And this book is thicker than this book. This book bigger. But I bet it's the same, you know what I'm saying? Because this book the biggest fuck. Like, it's the biggest book. I can't put this on my bookshelf, bro. Like, I don't have nowhere. It's gonna have to go on the top shelf, because holy shit. Unphilosophical probability. Bro, we about to get into some shit with this book. Hell nah. Rosie, you see this shit? Rosie. Rosie, what the fuck are you doing? Don't look at me. I'm looking at the camera. Yeah, see yourself. You gross, Rosie. Say excuse me. Look how pretty you are. You think you're pretty, Rosie? Rosie. Rosie, real. She likes it. She knows she like it. Rosie. Rosie, don't you run away from me, no? Louie, come here. Come here, Louie. You give me some love. No? All right. The cat's going on my nerves. I'm just playing. Louie. I have to get into it. Like, I'm dying to know what it says. It's a lot. I just want to see, like, what are we getting into? Book 1 of Ideas, their origin, composition, connection, abstraction, etc. Section 1 of the origin of our ideas. I'm only going to read the first paragraph, and that's it. Like this much. That's it. Rosie, get out of there. All the perceptions of the human mind resolve themselves into two distinct kinds, which I shall call impressions and ideas. The difference betwixt these consists in the degrees of force and liveliness with which they strike upon the mind and make their way into our thought or consciousness. Those perceptions which enter with most force and violence we may name impressions, and under this name I comprehend all our sensations, passions, and emotions as they make their first appearance in the soul. By ideas, I mean the faint images of these in thinking and reasoning, such as, for instance, are all the perceptions excited by the present discourse, excepting only those which arise from the sight and touch, and accepting the immediate pleasure or uneasiness it may occasion. I believe it will not be very necessary to employ many words in explaining this distinction. Every one of himself will readily perceive the difference betwixt the feeling and thinking. There it is again. The common degrees of these are easily distinguished, though it is not impossible, but in particular instances they may very nearly approach to each other. Thus, in sleep, in a fever, in madness, or in any very violent emotions of soul, our ideas may approach to our impressions. As on the one hand, it sometimes happens that our impressions are so faint and low that we cannot distinguish them from our ideas. But notwithstanding this near resemblance in a few instances, they are in general so very different that no one can make a scruple to rank them under distinct heads and assign to each a peculiar name to mark the difference. That's the first paragraph. Did you understand that? Did you catch that shit? That shit click in there? Bruh, he said betwixt, son, like twice. So we already know what kind of ride we're getting on with this book. Like betwixt, like, come on, son. Like, I mean, I welcome that kind of language. I like to incorporate, you know, sometimes I like to incorporate archaic language into my regular vocabulary just to fuck with people. Because it's fun. Language is fun. Words are fun, you know. And descriptive, by the way, not prescriptive, as some people try to make them out to be. Anywho, nothing was said. Yeah, he did. He was basically saying that, like, all that one can really be, from what I took from that, what I would extrapolate from that paragraph was that, I mean, I'm gonna probably have to read it again. I'm definitely gonna read it again, you know, but like almost every book I have, like all them over there, I like read all of them. At least most of them I've read twice. Some of them I've read 3 times, you know. But yeah, man. So I'm definitely gonna read this book probably twice. But anyway, from what I gathered in that first paragraph, he was basically saying that all we can really come to know is that which we can experience through the senses, be that they be pleasurable experiences or not so pleasurable. But either way, it is only what we can detect through our senses that you could consider real, I suppose. Like that's just sort of what I got from the first paragraph. I could be fucking way off. But another thing I like to do, and this could be like a what do you call it? Like a suggestion, I suppose, for when you're reading a book. And then if you think that you have an understanding of what the author is trying to convey, or maybe you don't, then what I like to do sometimes is I'll go on YouTube and just put in the title of the book, you know what I'm saying? Just to see like if there's any, if the author did like a speaking tour or like like a press tour trying to like get people to know that, I got a book out and all that. So like, and in doing so, they may hold interviews in which they discuss the overall themes of the book. So I like to do that sometimes because then I'll get to hear from the authors themselves or the author, and in their own words what it is that they were trying to say basically with the book. And it also gives you a better idea of how they wrote the book because now you get to hear what they sound like and how they talk. So it's probably a good barometer to judge how they write. You know what I'm saying? So if you know that there's someone who likes to, include a whole lot of extra details, then you'll know how to read it because you'll hear them saying it when you're reading it. At least it do for me. You know what I'm saying? Like anytime I read a Noam Chomsky book, I'm listening to Noam Chomsky read it to me essentially because I'm imagining he's reading it in his voice, and I've seen so many videos of Noam Chomsky, either his movie, if you will, the manufacturing consent documentary, I guess I don't know what you want to call that, but it was shot like it's a movie, to some extent. But I watched that. I watched his debate, back in the day when he was young, when he was on what was it, Firing Line? I think that was the name of William F. Buckley's show. Yeah, so I saw like when, he debated him. I saw when he debated Michel Foucault, and just many different, a variety of other, interviews that he's done over the years. So I got a good sense of what he sounds like. Now I've already read like 6 Lenin books, and most of them twice. So, but I don't know what Vladimir Lenin sounds like. So I don't know how he talks. I just know that in all of the books I've read by him, he comes off so angry. Like, he is so bitter. I mean, He's probably the angriest writer I've ever read. Like of all the motherfucking, I mean, I haven't read that many authors. I mean, I read enough, you know what I'm saying? But like out of all of them, he seemed the most angry. Like, and I get it. Like he, I don't know. I feel like Lenin of all of the, of all of the classical, if you will, communists from history or socialists in times past. He's the one most like me, or at least I feel like I'm mostly in his spirit, if you will. Yeah, I just feel like because the persona that I portray while I'm on camera is just that. It's a persona. Like people are always like, man, I'd like to hang out with you. Nobody in real life likes hanging out with me. I don't like hanging out with people. Like I'm always home, like I am now, either reading, cleaning, reading, and exercising, But most of my days are spent reading. Like that's what I do most of the time. And what I'm reading is usually fucking this religious history shit or philosophical shit or world history, U.S. specifically foreign policy. I mean, I'm reading authors like Ta-Nehisi Coates, James Baldwin, uh, 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 fuck, who else I got? Lewis Henry Gates. I think that's his name. Henry Louis Gates, my fault. I think that's his name. Yeah, Noam Chomsky already said. James Baldwin already said. Howard Zinn. Uh, fuck. Christopher Hitchens. I got some Richard Dawkins. Lenin. Uh, fucking Lillian Faderman. She's the one who wrote the Gay Revolution book. That's probably my thickest book. It's just a whole history, a very comprehensive history. Look into the history of the struggle as far as the LGBTQ community is concerned, which is why I have so much love for that community. Like I stand in solidarity with their plight, But so I got that, and I got some books by like Angela Davis. You know what I'm saying? Um, Howard Zinn. I probably already said Howard Zinn. Fucking, because I don't feel like y'all would know the Christian authors. You know what I'm saying? You know Richard Dawkins, you know Christopher Hitchens, you know Vladimir Lenin, you know Noam Chomsky. You know what I'm saying? You might know Angela Davis, Ta-Nehisi Coates, James Baldwin. I got some Cornell West. Fucking, I got some Bart Ehrman. Because again, I'm studying the historicity of Christianity and Jesus. So I want to know. Um, but I plan on getting. So I got Godless. This is who I say. Dan Baker, Dan Barker. So I got some Dan Barker. Fucking, and now I got some David Hume. Ooh, I'm so excited to read this. Like, like the first book I got excited about was Manufacturing Consent by Noam Chomsky. I got it as a Christmas present. Fucking loved it, dude. Like, even though I was like, I think that was the last year I celebrated Christmas, or at least observed it in any capacity. But yeah, that was what I got, and I mean, I've already read it twice, of course, but that book that started me on my path. You know what I'm saying? I read that book and it was like, um, excuse me, the United States is some bullshit. At least that's what I read. If you read authors like Howard Zinn and Noam Chomsky and Angela Davis and Cornell West, and James Baldwin, these people are people that the mainstream media, that the establishment tried not. They try. These are names that the establishment try to keep out of the minds of the populace. They don't want you to know these names because they don't want you familiarizing yourself with their work. Because God forbid if you actually read their work, check their work. You don't have to necessarily take their word for it. I mean, they give you the sources and whatnot, so you can go and do your own research. And then and come to your own conclusions. And if you don't necessarily believe what you're reading, well, then cross-reference it. Get a double, triple opinion. You know what I'm saying? just to make sure, like, because if the information you're finding um, is in conflict, I guess, with your already deeply held assertions, deeply, about the United States or Christianity or foreign policy or how the United States has treated black people or gay people or women or just whatever, like there's so much that they don't want you to know about, because if you find out, you might actually demand change, and God forbid you do that. You know, they don't want that. They'll do anything. Like, I mean, look at how you gonna be an advocate of free speech and burn books? Like, which is it? Like, is it free speech or is it censored speech? Like, what are we doing here? You know what I mean? And I'm like, and then when you look at the books, it's all an effort not. Most of the books are books that go against the establishment status quo. It's what it goes against the narrative that is being pushed by the establishment, and has been pushed for at least 50, 60, 70 years. You know what I mean? I'm like, and so any books, any authors that challenge that narrative, they don't even want you to know about them. They'll burn that shit. Straight up. The same motherfuckers who are like, oh, free speech. But then you say something they don't like, and now they try to ban you and shit. It ain't no fucking different on the left. Don't get me wrong. I'm not acting like it's just fucking Republicans. It's just Republicans are the only ones burning books and banning books. Like, what the fuck? Ain't no Democrats trying to censor speech in that capacity. You know what I mean? Don't get me wrong. They may be trying to, like, get you to not speak on their campus or, shit like that. That's just stupid. Like, well, if you don't like what they got to say, don't go to the speech. Like, don't try to ban them from coming. Like, I mean, we got to have the dialogue, hear them out. I mean, some people are obviously just, they don't have a message worth listening to, but they still get the right to have that speech. Like, they can still fucking say it. You don't have to listen to it. You don't have to respect it. You know what I mean? That doesn't necessarily mean you have to accost them because you don't agree with whatever it is they're saying. You can completely just disregard them. That is an option as well, Now, as far as like protests for something that's bigger than just, oh, I don't want to hear you talk. Like, well, nah, I'm talking about like this Israel-Palestine shit. Like, I'm not even so much, I don't even really care about the substance of why they're protesting. I mean, I do, but I mean, the reason I'm bringing it up right now is because of the deeper underlying problem that's buttressing the whole fucking, their the actions that they're taking to silence the protesters. That's the issue, is that they're trying to silence protest. They're trying to shut us, the people, up. They want to shut up the masses. And anytime you have a problem or voice your grievance with whatever the policy is or whatever the establishment is trying to shove down your throat this time, they try to shut you up. You thought it was just black people in 2020 with fucking Black Lives Matter. No, sir. But nope. Wasn't just black people. Because now you see them. These are mostly fucking white kids up here at this goddamn college that are doing all this protesting for Palestine, which is good. It was what we need, and I applaud it. And they're doing good work. I'm on the side of the Palestinian protesters, like the ones who are trying to get the motherfucking Biden administration to stop supporting the fucking ethnic cleansing going on in Gaza, as a result of the genocide that Israel is perpetuating on the people of Palestine. Like, it's gross. And so they're just demanding that we stop sending Israel fucking weapons so that they can continue their ethnic cleansing campaign. We're not on board with that, and we're trying to force this administration to stop it. Like, knock it the fuck off, bro. They're only doing it because you're allowing it to happen. But nonetheless, I mean, there's a lot of parallels between their protests and the protests of the Vietnam War and the protests during apartheid in South Africa. There's a lot of parallels. And each time they was like, shut the fuck up. We're going to do what we want to do. We, the establishment. You peasants, go back to fucking doing whatever you go back to class and shut up, you know, or whatever it is. But it's like they just want to be able to steamroll doing US fuckery wherever we want to do it and have you shut the fuck up about it. And it's like, bro, I'm tired of that shit, bro. Like, and this is how I am off camera most of the time. Like, I'm fucking angry most of the time. I'm almost impossible to talk to because all I talk about is politics and religion. You know what I mean? And how one influences the other and how I'm trying to attack both. It's, you know what I'm saying? Sort of a multi-pronged attack. Not so much that I'm trying to get people to stop being Christians. I don't fucking care. Be a Christian, whatever. Like, but just stop trying to force your shit into our legislation. It's only because of Christian nationalism that the whole abortion thing even passed. If you look at the statistics, the majority of Americans and the majority of Republicans, look at the data, don't take my word for it, are on board with abortion. Like, they are on board with it. I don't care what they tell you on the mainstream media. I don't care what they're tweeting about on Twitter. Look at the data. And the data is on our side. The data is with the people, but you wouldn't know that. You know, they'll make you think, oh no, it's only the left who is for abortion, who is for killing babies, as they like to name it and call it. And the right are the only ones who protect life. And it's like, first of all, you don't. You don't protect life. First of all, you've never been on the side of, what are you talking about? You don't give a fuck about life. None of you do. Not the left, not the right. Because all they care about is profit. And if you're in the way of that, well, then you're the problem. I don't care if you're black. I don't care if you're a woman. I don't care if you're LGBTQ. I don't care if you voted for Trump last year or last election cycle. If you stand in the way of capital, you are out of here. You know what I mean? Like, that's just all it is to it. Like, they'll exploit whatever avenue they got to do to get more capital. So if they got to tell you that Bud Light is woke, don't drink that shit just so that you'll buy more right-wing products, whatever that is. I don't fucking know. You know, I mean, let's keep it real. All corporations are right-wing. All of them. All of them. Like, all of them. Like, how can you be a left-wing corporation and you're exploiting your workers? That's not a left-wing thing to do. That's a very right-wing thing to do. It's a very right-wing, pro-business thing to do to make it seem as though you are on the side of black people. So you'll put up Black Lives Matter, sure. You won't actually do anything to help black people whatsoever, but you'll virtue signal, you know, same thing with Israel and Palestine. I don't care where you fall. If you're pro-Israel or pro-Palestine, you ain't actually doing anything for either group. But you'll put up a little flag in your background or whatever, or wear a t-shirt or fucking, I don't fucking know, retweet somebody else's, you know, profound statement or whatever the fuck, you know, but you're not actually doing anything. You know, what did you know about Israel and Palestine before October 7th? Exactly. You ain't fucking know shit. You know, and if you knew anything, it was whatever the right-wing establishment media, and when I say right-wing, I'm talking about all of them. I'm talking about MSNBC, CNN, Fox, all of them. They're all right-wing in my opinion. It's just one is more in your face right-wing, and the other one's more like, we're right-wing, but we're going to let you think we're not. There is no left wing in Washington. People, like, there's no left. There are no Marxists in Washington. Are you fucking kidding me? There's no one even close. Like, the closest, nah, I can't. Fuck it. The closest is Cornel West, and he's not even in Washington. He's trying to get to Washington. He ain't gonna get there, but he's trying to. You know what I'm saying? Like, he the closest to being a Marxist, and he is way off. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, there are no Marxist Leninists in Washington. I don't care what Trump say. I don't care what nobody on the right say. There are no Marxist Leninists, Maoists fucking in Washington. Please, the best you can get are maybe some Kautskyits. You know what I'm saying? The motherfuckers that Lenin was pissed off at because they're calling themselves socialists or whatever, but they're really working as part of the bourgeoisie parliament. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're they basically made a mockery of the entire term socialism or communism. And it's like by just using the words, but actually behaving as though you are part of the bourgeoisie. And that's exactly what we got going on in Washington. Ain't none of these motherfuckers Marxists, Leninists, and leftists, communists, socialists. None of them. The best you can get is a social democrat. That's the closest. Like, and that's like Bernie Sanders. That's the closest you'll get. Like a social democrat. Like, I'm not with that. I'm not a Democrat. I'm not a Republican. I'm not even an independent. I'm a motherfucking communist. Like, I don't know how many times I have to say it. Like, you can call me a socialist if you want. That'll work too, you know. I mean, but communism is the goal. And if you understood socialism, if you understood communism, if you knew the theories, if you looked into it, researched the work, then you would understand that it is a superior economic arrangement to capitalism. Just period. If you're somebody who's like, we need to get money out of politics, well, then you're not on board with capitalism. Period. Like, you are on board more with socialism. If you're like people over profit, then you are more in line with socialism. Unless you're like, nah, fuck the people, profit, son, get yours. And then I guess you're more aligned with capitalism while never being a capitalist. Like, you'll just always be a peasant being exploited by capital while you cheering capitalism. Fools. Anyway, socialism and communism, all that. I'm not saying that they have to look anything like how they've been tried in the past. And I say tried because America never lets anybody have nothing. You know what I'm saying? It's like anytime motherfuckers was like looking out for their people and they were putting the people before the profit, every time the United States was like, fuck that, motherfucker. It's profit over people. Why didn't they get the memo? God damn, what the fuck? Were they not at Bretton Woods? Like, I mean, it's like they're every time, bro. So like if you're on board with idiot ass shit, like eat the rich and people over profit and you know, and we represent the 99%. All that is socialist Marxist terminology, bro. I mean, somewhat, not totally, but because you're not a socialist unless you're talking about we need to exchange the means of production. We need to exchange who owns the means of production. And right now it's in the capitalists' hands, and it needs to be in ours. Those of us who do the work. Every motherfucking one of y'all has gone to work and was like, the managers don't know what they're doing, or you know that they couldn't do your job, and yet they make the money and get to make all the decisions and get all the benefits while you got to just come in here and do what the fuck you're told. You know what I'm saying? Why can't you be in charge? Why can't you decide what the profits go to and how they're spent and what products you'll even make or sell? You know, why is it all got to be about the profit motive as opposed to like, why can't we be more efficient? Why can't more of that profit come to us? We do all the work. Why should most of the money go to the shareholders? That's bullshit. If they should get all the money, then have them come do the work. Fuck it. Oh, they won't. Because you can do it. And they can't. They probably can't even do it. They're fucking old and shit. They don't know how to fucking do what you do. I don't give a fuck what you do. You can just stock shelves at Walmart second shift. They can't fucking do that shit, son. Motherfuckers don't know how to operate a pallet jack. Are you shitting me? They don't even know what a pallet jack is. The point is, you should be in charge of that shit. You should own the means of production and not the capitalists, because they're the ones who are making you work for shit wages. I don't care what your wages are. Whatever you're getting paid, trust me, they could afford to pay you much higher than that, because they don't need to be that rich. Why you got to be a billionaire? You can't just be a multi-millionaire? Like, why you got to be a billionaire? A billion means you're making way too much money off of us. Somebody is getting exploited through the ass for you to be a billionaire, son. Like, it don't work that way. I'm not saying I got anything against millionaires. I mean, we're in the richest country in the world. Damn near every single fucking one of us should be millionaires. At least have $1 million. You know what I mean? To live comfortably here. Just $1 million. It ain't gotta be multi-million. Just $1 million, you know? But the fact that there's motherfuckers with billions, meaning they have money that will never be spent by anyone ever. Like, because who can spend that kind of money? Billions? I charge you to spend 1 billion, let alone billions. You'll never spend that. Like, that tells you something. Like, if they got that kind of money, they can amass billions. Money that will never be spent by a human being ever. Then why can't they pay you a little more? I don't care what excuse they give you. It's obviously a lie. Obviously a lie. Look at your corporation, wherever you work for. Just look up how much profit did that company make last quarter, last year, last week, whatever, like however they're tracking it. Look and just see, like, and then when they tell you, oh, we ain't got the money, bullshit, you got it. And that's why the fuck y'all need unions. I'm not saying unions are perfect. Clearly, some of them are, like CVS's union is shit. I don't know about all of them, but the CVS here in fucking Dayton, Ohio, the CVS union here, shit, have no teeth. The union leadership works for the side of the fucking company, the owners. They're not here on this side. They'll come and make you feel like they're on your side, but God forbid, let motherfucker or CVS be like, we just want like a dime more raise. That's it, just a dime. That motherfucker, they're like, yeah, nice try. It's not in the budget. If you want more money, we can promote you. You know, we can give you more work and then promote you to that salary. That still isn't good enough. We can do that, but we're not just gonna like help you out. Like, what the fuck? I don't care how many times you came in early or stayed late. I don't care how many times you worked through your lunch break or didn't even take a break. I don't care. I don't care that you decided not to take your holiday this year because you just wanted to work. Yeah, none of that you did for us fucking matters. Don't you come in here talking about I want a dime more an hour. Get the fuck out of here. We will replace you by someone who knows how to shut the fuck up and toe the line. Because that's capitalism for you, baby. It's not about you. It's not about people. I don't care what they tell you. It's all about profit. If you ain't profit, then you ain't shit. If you ain't talking about getting profit, making me profit, then what are we even talking about? Kill yourself. You're only as valuable to me as you can make me profit. That's all capitalism is, bro. And it's getting uglier and uglier. You can complain now that you got to pay for everything. Everything costs. Everything's expensive. Not everything. Yeah, I mean, I get a lot of it does cost and a lot of it is expensive, but you don't literally pay for everything. I mean, just thinking about it. Capitalism could be to the point where, like right now, you just pay for the internet, right? That's it. And then you have access to like all these websites. I'm gonna just use YouTube for an example. Capitalism could be like, all right, so you gotta pay to have the internet, and then you gotta pay to download YouTube. And then if you want to listen to any song more than 15 seconds, it's going to cost like $1. You know, I mean, they could do this. This is how capitalism works. They don't even try to invent nothing new. They just keep trying to find out how can we squeeze more money out of the thing that already exists. Like, and that's why capitalism ruins every fucking thing. You know, it's like capitalism is trash. It had its time. Okay. There was a time for capitalism to do its thing. But now this capitalism, this shit is out of control. Out of control. Like, and it's only getting worse. You know what I'm saying? The ratcheting effect or whatever, the pendulum of fucking Overton, it's all to the right, goddammit. Ain't no left. Ain't no left. The Republicans, the Democrats of today are basically the Republicans of the 80s. And the Republicans of today, there is no precedent for them. You know what I'm saying? As Noam Chomsky, when he was quoting someone else, he calls them the Republican radical insurgency. They're not even interested in parliamentary politics anymore. They're just there to burn it all down, essentially. You know what I'm saying? That's it. Like, just look at what the Republicans have done since they've had any sort of power in this last Congress or whatever. Like, they ain't did shit. Not shit. They just keep like trying to throw red meat to the base with this Hunter Biden nonsense and the laptop and his penis, and we're trying to impeach Biden and he had documents too. Why isn't he getting into that thing? Because the motherfucker gave him up. He was like, yeah, go ahead, go get him. I fucked up. I didn't know I had him. Go get him. It's like, it's not the same. They gave Trump the same fucking opportunity, and this dumbass was like, all right, yeah, that's it. I swear to God. And then he was like, well, what's the rest of this shit? I mean, hey, bro, I'm allowed to have that shit. At the same time, I didn't even know I had that shit. At the same time, and that's my lawyers, man. How was I supposed to know? You know, it's like, bro, pick a lie. You know what I'm saying? It's like, bro, you could have just, like, Trump do dumbass shit. Like, I'm not saying he's any more of a crook than the rest of the fucking Democrats in Washington. Like, they're all fucking crooks. All of them. You know what I'm saying? Motherfucking crooks. But he just too stupid about it. It was like, bro, shut the fuck up. Like, if you just shut the fuck up, you could just get away with all the crime that all the Democrats get away with. You know what I'm saying? But you just keep giving the game away. It's like, bro, shut the fuck up. I'm not trying to like give Trump ideas, but I'm just like, bruh, I'm just trying to show y'all that like he's no different from Nancy Pelosi or Chuck Schumer or fucking like he ain't no different from them. He just dumber than them. Like he don't know how to play the game. Like it's like shut the fuck up. Don't be overt about it. Like the Democrats, our game, the liberals, the liberal way to behave is to like keep all that shit tame. You know what I'm saying? It's like you can't be all out here like niggers. It's like no, you gotta say urban. You know, you gotta say that. You can't be like fucking black people. No. You gotta say like Chicago, St. Louis, you know, Atlanta. You gotta name just all the heavily populated black cities. Like that's what you gotta say. But you out here just being like black people. It's like, well, shut the fuck up. It's like that's what I'm talking about. It's like he's no different from the rest of them. He just don't know how to shut the fuck up. I'm like, so he's no more of a crook than all the rest of them. I'm like, that's just all it is. It's like, don't think. I mean, I feel like all the shit Trump even getting charged with right now is like, don't get me wrong. I mean, it's all legitimate. It's just because he was too fucking stupid. It's like the rest of what you think them other Democrats and shit and other Republicans for that matter ain't doing the same shit. Ain't probably doing the same shit. They just know not to get fucking, you know what I mean? Like they ain't trying to be so over the top about it. He just don't have that, you know. He doesn't have that that, you know, everybody else in Washington had. He just came in like, yo, what the fuck, you know. Grab him by the pussy. And it's like, bruh, like you are not you are not in this for the long game. You know what I mean? And it's like, look at you, man, facing charges and shit. Dumbass. Should have shut the fuck up. It's like now you feel like they picking on you and shit. It's like, no, they know how to shut the fuck up. They just know how to play the game and you didn't. And your ass got caught up. Like, that was his biggest mistake. Should have never ran for president. You could have got away with all these motherfucking crimes, dog. All of them. Like, but you ran for president. So that, like, and became president. So that, like, fucked shit up, dog. Like, now it's a spotlight on you. You know. And then but his biggest problem wasn't even so much that he fucked over poor people or black people or anybody. It wasn't even that. It's when he fucked over rich people. And he did that with January 6th. Like January 6th, he scared the shit out of the motherfuckers, dog. They didn't give a fuck about none of that other shit he was doing policy-wise. Like, they just, well, how could he? They didn't care. It wasn't until he scared they ass. Like, when all that January 6th shit went down, it was like, you scared the establishment. And that's why. That's why you under investigation, dumbass. Like, you should have just shut the fuck up. You should have kept all that shit under wraps. But you ain't know how to do it. And then you had nothing but crooks on your team, like obvious crooks. Some of them already been to like prison before and stuff. Like, why would you do that? Like, anyway, I never liked Trump anyway. I've never liked racist people, so I don't care if those people become president, ex-president. I don't care if they're Democrats. I don't care if they're Republicans. I don't like them. I don't like Biden. I don't like Trump. I don't like Obama. I didn't like Bush. I didn't like Clinton. I don't like none of these motherfucking war criminal, racist, bigoted fucking pieces of shit. I don't like any of them. Fuck them. Fuck them and their gods. How about that? That's where I'm at. Constitution wasn't written with my black ass in mind anyway. They didn't never see me as a human being. We was only, a third of a person at the time. They ain't never look at us as people. When they was talking about all men are created equal, at the time, we meant literally men. So not women. You're not equal to men, bitch. Get it straight. And when we said all men, we didn't mean you niggas. Like, y'all are clearly not men. So it wasn't written for us. That's why I'm just like, most of the Constitution was not written for us. Like, it took amendment after amendment after amendment to finally, like, give you a piece of a little sliver of a crumb of the pie. If you was a woman, if you was black, you know, and then the civil rights and all. It was just like, man, they never cared about us. Never. They're just, I mean, and then capitalism perpetuates this. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I got a book by Ellen Wood called The Origin of Capitalism. I recommend that book. You should check it out. Um, and then I got another one by I'm trying to think of his name. Norm Hartman. I think his name's Norman Hartman. I'm not 100% sure. Hartman, I'm pretty sure is his last name, but he wrote a book I got on neoliberalism. So that's another book I read. Hold on, I'll just go grab it so you can see what I'm talking about. All right. This one, The Hidden History of Neoliberalism. It's not that big a book. By Tom Hartman. How Reaganism Gutted America and How to Restore Its Greatness. New York Times bestselling author. So yeah, again, The Hidden History of Neoliberalism by Tom Hartman. And this one, The Origin of Capitalism by Ellen Minkins Wood. Again, not a very big book. It's very digestible. It's only what? Not even 200 pages. I mean, it's very easy. So, The Origins of Capitalism and The Hidden History of Neoliberalism. Two good books. So, and once you read that shit, keep on going. Like, there's more to learn. So, would y'all stop? What the fuck are y'all doing? I'm gonna give y'all a couple more. Fuck, man, I got so many books to recommend y'all, man. But here's one by Noam Chomsky and Marv Waterstone called Consequences of Capitalism. It's a pretty hefty book, I'm not gonna lie. It's a little over 300. Then The Age of Surveillance Capitalism by Shoshana Zuboff. The Fight for a Human Future at the New Frontier of Power. That's a pretty thick book. It's about 500 pages, you know what I'm saying? But it's so good. Like when you start reading, you be like, what the fuck, bro? America doing what? Holy shit. We thought North Korea was bad. And then when you read this book, you understand why this whole TikTok ban in China shit is nonsense. Straight up nonsense. Like everything that they're complaining that China's trying to do, motherfucker, we've been doing already to our own selves. Like we just mad because we trying to make it seem like China trying to get in on the game and do something nefarious. It's like, motherfucker, we nefarious. Fuck you mean? And then this one, of course, Who Rules the World by Noam Chomsky. And this one gives a pretty detailed like a whole couple chapters in here on just Israel and Palestine. Like I was underlining the fuck out of this book. Like, I mean, it was like so much shit. I was like, what the fuck, bro? Like, I mean, it's a good history of like Israel and Palestine just in this book. So if you want to know more about, I mean, he's got another book called On Palestine. I think it's on back order, so I ain't got it yet, but this is a good one. You know what I'm saying? Who Rules the World by Noam Chomsky. I only read this book twice. I'll probably give it a third read. But yeah, man, so just a couple books that I recommend, and then I got more. Like, so I got plenty more, man. I got some dope ass books, but I've been reading a lot about capitalism and, well, pretty much critiques of capitalism, and I've been reading a lot about and just like the inner machinations of capitalism, basically, you know what I'm saying? And also alternatives to capitalism, i.e. socialism, communism, you know, and what that could look like in the 21st century, as opposed to like what it would have looked like in like the 1900s or the 1800s rather, you know, but yeah, so, and what that could look like. And there's another book, I forget who it's by, but I think it's called the Constitution. Hold on. Yeah, this one sort of gives an idea of how we could structure America economically. if we did it more efficiently, and it's called the People's Republic of Walmart. So like basically, if we structured the entire United States economic system the way Walmart structures Walmart, it's like it'd be way more. I feel like, and so it goes into like great detailed analysis of how like Walmart uh, operates. It's just like really educated. Like it's a lot of academic language. This is sort of a struggle to get through. I'm not gonna lie. Like this is kind of hard to read, but that was what when I read it, I had just started reading like all this shit. So like my vocabulary and my reading comprehension wasn't as good. So I plan to go back and read this a second time. This is one of the books I only read once. Was like, all right, done that one. But but I'm gonna probably go back through it because I want to get a better understanding. But it just feels like you have to kind of understand a little bit of economics, or maybe have more than a baseline understanding of economics to sort of get this shit. And it's like, I'm not that smart, you know what I'm saying? I can't. But anyway, so I mean, I got like 50 something books, like, and haven't read most of them twice. I'm probably read over 100 books, like, and they're all this type of shit, like all serious ass fucking, you know, nonfiction. You know what I'm saying? I don't fuck around because I want to know. I want to fucking. I'll tell you, I'll be doing research. You know what I'm saying? I'll take this shit. I'll go online, look for other shit, look for research papers. If they reference certain documents, I'll go and see if those documents are available online to read and download the PDF files and then go over them and all that shit. Like, I be really wanting to know this shit. I want to understand capitalism so I can understand how to better articulate its contradictions. And I also want to understand what the alternatives could look like. So when people, so you're not just coming to the table talking about, this is funked up. It's like, all right, well, what solutions do you got? I could at least have something. You know what I mean? I can't just be like communism. It's like, well, what do you mean? How do we get there? What does that look like in the 21st century? Is that the best course of action? And it's like, I don't know if it is, but I know capitalism cannot continue because this is some fuck shit, straight up. And Christianity is not helping at all because it's keeping motherfuckers acquiescent to the status quo and to power without challenging anything. And it's like, no, challenge everything. Is there a God? If so, is his name Jesus or Yahweh or Allah or Zeus? Who fucking knows? Are the Zoroastrians correct about the whole God thing? Anyway, question it. Are you a Democrat? Are you a Republican? Are you an independent? Are you a libertarian? Are you a socialist or a communist or anywhere in between? Like, and how do you know? Like, how do you know you are? What does that party stand for? And how do you know they stand for that? What are your points of reference to say that this is what this thing stands for? And that's why I align with that. You know, just everything like I've been doing. I've been questioning literally everything. Everything. Like, why do I like what I like? Hate what I hate? Love what I love? Avoid what I avoid? Wear what I wear? Say what I say? Make the faces I make? Just everything. I've been questioning it all. How much of this is me? How much of this is just programming? And to give an answer to that, I'd say probably 100%. Like, I don't know if there's any part of me individually that is not represented by some sort of influence that has made a profound impact on who I am, you know, and why I do what I do. Obviously, that's the case for all of us. But it's just doing that kind of thinking is like, who am I? Really? Like, really? Why do I like what I like? Why is that? How did I even come to that? You know, why do I dislike these people or those people? Do I dislike those people? Like, when I really think about it, I know it's a knee-jerk reaction to have a particular emotional response to whatever the stimuli is. But if you really think about it, and it's like, well, why is that the reaction? What is going on there? Is it me? Is it something external to me? Like, questioning everything. And that's how I came to the conclusion that I wasn't a Democrat or a Republican. I'm a fucking communist, because what I have learned so far, and I'm still studying communism and Marxism and socialism. I didn't even touch on those books. I got books just about socialism. But yeah, because I understand a little bit more about what it aims for. And it's like, I'm totally on board with that. And since Democrats and Republicans aren't talking about that, they're just two different sides of the same capitalist coin. And I'm like, well, I'm neither of those. And independent, well, what does that even mean? You're just independent of Democrats and Republicans? Independent of Democrats, Republicans, and Libertarians and Green Party? Like, what do you even mean? Like, pick a side, motherfuckers. Like, what camp are you in? You know, even if it's not a popular one. I'm in the communist camp. I understand that's not very popular in America. That's only because it's got a bad rap, and most Americans don't bother to actually look into the shit to see what is communism from communists, and not from some capitalist who's just trying to shit on it because they want to continue the status quo as is. And this trajectory that we're on is only headed more towards fascism, not communism. Like, we're nowhere near to the left. Like, this country is so fucking far to the right, and the right still aren't happy because they don't fucking know. Like, they don't know what the fuck right or left even means. They don't know what positions they hold and why they hold them. I mean, just there's no introspection going on. There's no intellectual curiosity, and therefore no intellectual honesty. People are just talking out of their asses and armchair philosophizing. I don't even know what the fucking word. I gotta look it up. But yeah, it's just, we just gotta do more, people. I should have talked more to y'all, but I had a lot to get off my chest, and I really wanted to like promote these books. So if you take anything from this, just remember that communism is not so bad. Just look it up, people. Just look into it. That's all I'm saying. You ain't gotta like it right now. You ain't gotta like it at all. Just look into it. Look into capitalism. See why it's so terrible. Or at least see why I say it's so terrible. It's like, and where do you fit in the capitalist landscape? You know what I mean? Like, are you benefiting from it, or are you just sort of like dealing with the crumbs that capitalists are willing to throw at you? You know what I'm saying? As opposed to you being able to get what's really yours, as you would be more likely to do under a socialist arrangement of the economy. Hold on, let me. That's better. I said I got a luxury car. Look at this piece of shit that I'm driving, bruh. Look at that. That is old. I do not. I got a bat. Because I'm on some thugging out shit. It's a pretty day out here, man. It is. Birds chirping and shit. It's fucking nice out here. It's a motherfucker. It's just two spiders. Ugh. I was gonna sit in that chair. Never mind now. Never fucking mind, B. Back in the house. Bam! At the red dove. Good Lord. At least you have a vehicle. My car got. Damn, Matt. I'm sorry to hear that. Was it a Honda? Just curious. A Kia. Talk about communism. I'm interested. Well, shit, son. Like I said, I'm still studying it. You know what I mean? I'm still learning about communism. But basically, it's not a poverty cult. Like, and it's not about, you know, taking away your toothbrush. I mean, I just hate all the fucking anti-communism talk about. Actually, you know, no. What I would recommend, because it's more interesting this way anyway than listening to me talk with this terrible audio. But anyway, if you watch Second Thought, You're already probably like, ugh. Second Thought, man. If you go to Second Thought on YouTube, there's a channel called Second Thought. And it's run by this dude named JT, you know what I'm saying? But if you look at some of his older videos, before he started like putting himself on camera, like it's like when I got into Second Thought, JT was not on video. Like I didn't even know what he looked like. He was just a voiceover on the videos. But now he like all in the videos and shit. Like he trying to be Johnny Harris and shit. Fuck out of here. Anyway, so I would recommend his videos, or even more so, You Got Nick. You know what I'm saying? It's UGOPNIK. I think that's how it's spelled. You Got Nick. He is also a communist. I would recommend his videos. I would probably recommend his videos more than Second Thought, just because he's like, he knows his shit, you know what I'm saying, when it comes to like having read Mao and Lenin and Stalin. Not that Stalin, but he's read them, you know. But yeah, and also Hakeem. So if you look up and like I think Hakeem's channel is he's got like a picture of Lenin and the Russian flag or whatever in like his background. I'm not 100%, but I'll probably like put some links or some shit in the video. But yeah, You Got Nick, Hakeem, Second Thought. You check them guys out, man. That'll tell you, like, they're very, very concise, very succinct on with their descriptions of communism, you know. And then they'll also, like, I think it's Hakeem. I'm not for sure if it's You Got Nick or Hakeem, but one of the two has like a reading list. And so in the video, they got all these different reading material for anyone who considers themselves Marxists, socialists, communists. And so that's a good video too. So Hakeem, You Got Nick, Second Thought, highly recommend. Or, I mean, I recommend them for the educational value. I also recommend Hasan Piker's channels. And I already know some of y'all are like, no, hell no, dog. Not fucking Hasan. It's like, man, shut the fuck up. If you don't like Hasan, it's because you don't fucking read. You don't know anything about U.S. foreign policy or history. Hasan reads a lot of fucking Lenin. He's read a lot of Noam Chomsky. He's read Cornel West. He reads a lot of the authors I've read. And so I understand whatever Hasan is saying is almost biblically fact. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, don't get me wrong. He does make some predictions he's sometimes off about. He'll have some opinions that may be a little, but he does make a lot of predictions that are 100% on the money. Like, his political commentary is excellent. He is also an admitted socialist, you know, who probably has, you know, looks favorably upon communism. But I'm not sure how to direct you to his commentary on socialism/communism, but it would be just sort of his like off the cuff take anyway. But JT, Hakeem, You Got Me, their channels will give you a very good, educated, you know what I'm saying, explanation of the theory of communism and Marxism. So I was just looking into it, you know, just to be curious, just intellectually curious. Just, okay, let's look into it. Let's see what it's about. And you can read and be like, yeah, nope, not cool with that. And that's fine. But at least you looked into it, you know. Like, that's all I'm asking. I just want people to look into shit. Capitalism is not the end all be all. It cannot be. I mean, look at what it's doing to the United States, to the economy, to people in general. Like, come the fuck on. You know what I mean? Like, capitalism is not the answer. Unless you're rich, in which case there is no other, this is gospel. But if you're not rich, then this ain't it, man. Because more of us could be rich if we were more socialist. If we own the means of production, we'd be way more millionaires. Like, that's what I'm talking about. It's like, that's what's so bad about capitalism. Like, it's not necessarily so fucked up, just inherently within capitalism itself. It's neoliberal capitalism. And the highest stage of capitalism is imperialism. Or now we're coming over to your country to take your shit for our benefit at your expense. Like, yeah, fuck imperialism, fuck capitalism. Socialism would never do that. Communism would never do that. Communism, socialism, there's no such thing as killing you for your resources. like we do every fucking time. Like the whole fucking Iraq war was about just getting resources. They had nothing to do with 9/11, not at all, because we didn't give a fuck about 9/11. We funded the motherfuckers who eventually ended up doing 9/11 because that's how we do. America's foreign policy over the century, over the last 100 years or whatever, has been like, yo, if we need a motherfucker, then we'll help that motherfucker out. But then when that motherfucker need help, who are you again? It's like, that's how the United States is. We use you, then lose you. Use you, abuse you, and then lose you. Like, bro, we cool. Thanks, but no thanks, dumbass. Shouldn't have looked out for us. You should have known we wasn't gonna have your back. I know we said we would, but we were just bullshitting. It's like, that's how America is. And then you think that America can just keep doing that shit willy-nilly throughout the world and then just never expect blowback, ever? That's what 9/11 was. Same thing with Israel and Palestine. You can't keep just the Palestinians for decade after fucking decade, and then when they finally October 7th your ass, you're all like, oh, those fucking monsters, we gotta genocide them. It's like, never minding everything you've been putting them through for the last 50, 60, 70 years, probably longer. I haven't read enough about it. I only know about the last 50, 60, 70 years. But it's like, but that long enough, it's like, God damn, like, man, I'm surprised they haven't done more October 7th. Like, Jesus Christ, like, fuck Israel not as a country, not as a people, but just fuck the establishment of Israel. That's how I be like when I be like, fuck America. Not fuck the people of America. No, I'm talking about fuck the establishment, because that's who represents the countries across the world. They don't look at the people. They're looking at what is the government of that country doing, and then they base their opinion off the country off of that. Like, that's why we look favorably upon whatever countries we look favorably upon, or we look negatively upon. And that's not even for a good reason, because if we historically look positively upon a country, it's probably a fucked up country. And if we look negatively at that country, it's probably a country that's helping out its people and was like, fuck American business. We're going to help our people. And so now all of a sudden that people is like, oh, you don't want to help American businesses. Americans, those people are enemies. They're trying to do horrible shit. They're trying to come after us. Holy God, we got to go over there and do democracy or something. And then we go bomb the shit out of them or whatever, kill their leader and install some puppet dictator. I mean, just read this shit. Read this shit, bro. Like, America is a fucking bloodthirsty terrorist state like I've never seen. Like, holy motherfucking shit. And I only say that because, can you imagine if Al-Qaeda had the money and resources that the United States has? Yeah, you can say that, oh, that'd be much worse. No, it's not. It's already much worse. You know what I'm saying? Like, the United States is worse than Al-Qaeda. Because the United States doesn't have any ideology running behind it. It's not like, oh, America. No, fuck America. It's all about profit. Profit don't care who you are, where you are, what we gotta exploit, who we gotta kill, who we have to invade, who we have to genocide. Just get the profit. That's all it's about. Get the money. That's why I'm like, man, fuck capitalism, dude. Capitalism is a heartless fucking monster. And the people who are in charge, who make all the decisions about capitalism, are the only ones benefiting from it. With these billions and billions and billions and billions and billions of dollars. And yet we still got potholes and motherfuckers dying from curable diseases and all kinds of shit. Motherfuckers struggling check to check. Yet here you are with your billions on top of billions on top of billions on top of billions, but I can't even figure out how to replace the transmission in my truck. But you got money you'll never spend. And we all supposed to just be cool with that. Me and you. We're supposed to just shut the fuck up, go to work, don't protest, don't join a union. Just keep letting the establishment fuck you up the ass at nauseum. Like, just let them do it. Just whenever they feel like it. That's what they want you to do. And make it so bad, that's what's happening. Like, most of us are just letting it happen. We're just, because we don't want to look into nothing else. We don't want to read. We don't want to do any research. We don't want to do any homework. I'm grown. I'm not in school anymore. Why are you trying to make me do school stuff? It's like, because you're an adult, and adults should be still learning. Yeah, when you were in school, you were sort of made to go, either because the state said you have to go to school, or because your parents like, motherfucker, we paying for your school, you will be going. Now you're a fucking ass adult on your own, and you still need to be learning. Like, there's still, because they're still lying to you actively. It's not like, oh, they used to lie to us. Now they're telling us the truth. No, they're still fucking lying to us. They're still pushing a propaganda model because the establishment wants to maintain its power. They don't want you to add none of it. I want some coffee, but I don't have no coffee or money to get any coffee because I'm a broke bitch because of capitalism. Already seen my check that's coming tomorrow. It ain't even $1,000. I'm sorry. It's like 900 something. Like, what am I supposed to do with that? I already gotta get my mom $20. I'm just playing. That's not a problem. But I'm just like, fuck. Like, why is money an issue in the richest country on earth? Like, shouldn't none of us be broke? Shouldn't none of us be poor? None of us. There's literally enough money in this country for every single person, babies included, to be a millionaire, to at least have $1 million. Shit. There's at least that much money going around. For any one of us to be poor, that's by design. It's not by a failure on your part because you didn't do something. You didn't take that class. You didn't stay in school. You didn't do that job. You didn't take that promotion. It's not your fault. This shit is by design. They don't want you to fail. And even if you did do all that shit, you're still only going to get so far. This shit is down to a science. Look this shit up. If you want to find it, if you think I'm bullshit about this, look this shit up. It's so determined. It's to a science. They can tell just by your zip code. Whatever zip code you were born in, that is all they need to know to determine the likelihood of whether or not you will die poor or not. Just by looking at what zip code you were born in. That's some interesting shit. You think that's bullshit? Look it up. Look it up. Just look at Google. Determining wealth by zip code. Some shit like that. I don't fucking know. Something to that effect. And then just like go, just look, see what comes up, read some shit, you know. And you'd be surprised, like, what the fuck? Like, yeah, because it's to a science. This shit is by design. Like, if you were born rich, you'll probably die rich. If you were born poor, chances are you'll die poor. Don't get me wrong, there's a lot of poor people who make it, but can't all of us be fucking Lil Wayne? You know what I'm saying? Like, we can't all be LeBron James. Like, what the fuck? Like, that's just not realistic. Just like not all white people can be fucking hedge fund managers, or fucking not all of y'all can be Jeff Bezos. You know what I mean? Like, get the fuck out of here. So because you can't be that guy, you're supposed to just struggle in life? Like, what the fuck? No. As a matter of fact, we actually do kind of have socialism in this country. No, we don't. They like to say that. They're like, oh, socialism for the rich. No, it's not. No, it ain't. I mean, it only kind of is because the rich own the means of production, so I guess it is, you know. But you don't, so ain't no socialism for you. If anything, it's barbarism. God damn it, we on the precipice of slave labor, god damn it. Karl Marx, who a lot of y'all like to vilify, who's actually on your side, was like, he looked at what we do now, this division of labor and wage slavery or whatever. He looked at that like when they first initiated that shit, like in the 1800s or whatever. He was like, yeah, the working class people are not going to go for this very long. This is some bullshit. This shit is inhumane. Like, that's the way Karl Marx looked at wage labor, selling your labor power to a capitalist just to earn the means of subsistence. By subsistence, I mean just what it takes to reproduce yourself every day, to eat, to drink, to go to the doctor, to go to school, buy a book, to buy a bus ticket, plane ticket, put gas in your car. You know what I mean? Like just to exist every day, I have to sell my labor power to some guy who owns all the everything. He owns the place, he owns the product, he owns all the stuff you need in the place to make the product, and you just get a cut. Even though you did all the work. Like, man, why we keep allowing this to go on is ridiculous. Like, why do you think so many people hate their jobs? Like, because they're not doing anything. They're not learning anything. You're not probably not even really contributing to society in any real meaningful way. Just meaning like, if the job you do, we could just completely do away with that job tomorrow and then nothing fundamentally will change about how America operates, then you're doing a shit job. It's like, but it only exists because there's a profit motive. And someone's got to do the work. Who the fuck? I'm not doing it. I got all the money. You do it, peasants. And I'm not going to pay you what you're worth doing either, even though you're making me rich on top of rich. But I'm still not going to pay you enough to even barely make it to work tomorrow, fucker. And that's what we're supposed to just deal with under capitalism. Like, because capitalism's so fucking great. The fuck out of here. I implore you all just to look into socialism. Look into why it didn't work when it was tried. And see why. Why didn't it work? Was it just because it just in itself was just a terrible idea? No. Like, look and see why it never worked. Or why it was never allowed to work. Look at that. Like, yeah, it's not as bad as motherfuckers say. Of course you're going to think capital or socialism and communism is bad. Of course you are, because that's what the establishment has been telling you since like the 50s. You know what I'm saying? It's like, they've been wanting you to think, because they don't want they love it. They're like, man, we're getting rich. But I got so much money, I don't know what to do with it. And it's like, but I don't want, to not stop this. I don't want to stop this shit. You know what I'm saying? So tell them communism's bad, socialism's bad, can't have that shit, no. Because God forbid, if we adopted that, we would have to share some of these dividends with you peasants. You fucking despicable pieces of worthless shit. It's like, that's exactly how you're looked at by capitalists. You ain't shit. It's just whatever you doing for a capitalist. I can't even say you're as good as your last day of work. Like, nigga, you as good as your next day's work. That's what's the reality of capitalism. You only as good as your next day's work. Because we don't give a fuck what you did yesterday. We don't give a fuck what you did earlier today. Let you not show up tomorrow, motherfucker. You're out of here. You know what I'm saying? And I don't mean like, call up. No, just don't show up. Just no reason. Don't call, nothing. And then just go in like 2 days later. Just be like, oh, yeah, I forgot. I had something to do. Right? You be out of there, dog. Like, they don't give a fuck how much profit you made them last quarter. They don't care how many sales you had yesterday. It's like, oh, you stocked like 4 aisles of shelves, like by yourself. Like, so what? So what? Let you come in tomorrow. Let you not come tomorrow and don't call nobody or nothing. I'm like, damn, can you just like not write me up just this one time? Like, I mean, I did get y'all a lot. Like, I did a lot of work for y'all yesterday. Like, and that guy didn't do hardly shit, but me and him get paid the same. Like, so can you just like overlook this write-up? No, we can't. Company policy. What do you mean? But I just did. So I don't mean nothing to y'all. I'm just, exactly. I don't give a fuck about you. It's like, you're only as good as your next day's work. Remember that. All right, man, I'm out of here. Fucking hell.